Hello there. It's Most Things Kenobi. This is the podcast you're looking for.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Most Things Kenobi, a podcast about Obi-Wan Kenobi and all things Star Wars. I'm your host, Lauren.
And I'm your host, Leanne.
And this week, we're going to be a little more cheerful than last week.
Yeah. That's okay, though.
Yeah.
We go up, we go down. We go up, we go down.
Exactly. Just like life.
Just like Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, this week, we're going to talk about droids, which you and I both love very deeply.
Very deeply. And there are so many. We know the main stars, right? We know the main droids. We're going to talk about them. But I want to hit some of the, like, the one-timers. We saw them once, maybe in one movie. Yeah. Or maybe the underrepresented ones from comics or TV shows that, you know, we saw and then they left. And I just want to talk about all things droids. Because honest to God, I wish I had one.
You can make them, right?
Oh, yeah, you can make them. Yeah, at the Droid Depot.
Right. Like at, where is that? Is it in both California and Florida? I don't know. One of the
I'm
Star Wars
assuming.
lands.
I've only been to the Florida one, but yeah, it's at Galaxy's Edge.
How much is it? Could you do it? Like, or is it totally unaffordable?
I don't know. It can't be any worse than making the lightsaber, which was...
That's true.
It was enough, so...
Yeah, that's plenty. But worth it. Totally worth it.
Well, I just want a real droid. Like, someone who is as faithful and loyal as most of the ones we're about to talk about, you know?
Yeah.
Does my cat count?
Yeah, kind of. Would your cat save your life, or would he leave you in a burning building?
I think he would save my life.
Then I would say he counts.
Because every time when I'm done with my workout and I'm laying on the floor gasping for life, he comes over and checks on me. So I would like to think...
Oh my God, that's so cute.
That he would. He's CAT23.
Oh my God, I love that.
That's his droid name. I don't know. I just came up with that on the spot.
That's so clever. I love that. That's officially it. Yep.
Okay. I can't be the only CAT23 owners out there, so...
What is the 2-3 from?
I just made up because it rhymed.
Oh, well, it works perfect. It rolls off the tongue.
It does. Like I said. Anyway. This week is not so much a list, but a collection of joy.
Yes. If you can't tell, we're already in a good mood about it.
Yes. We're like, how often, I mean, aside from those horrific battle droids and the tactical droids that talk like this and...
Oh, I forgot about... I love that one, though, the tactical droids.
Well, they're so dry.
I like how they laugh.
Ha, 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 ha. Okay, so I guess we are starting off with...
Well, just that one, yeah. And
that
I like
one,
how
yeah.
stupid the battle droids are. They make me laugh when they're like, I guess I just got promoted.
Yeah. Oh, that... Oh, no, is that a Jedi?
Oh, my God,
no.
you're so good at that.
Oh! It must be the long work day I just went through.
You relate.
I feel things, yeah.
Do you feel like a droid at your job?
Sometimes I feel like 3PO when people just want to switch me off. And sometimes I feel like Chopper, where I'm just waving my arms around going, wop, 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 wop. Like... So, that depends on the day.
Oh my God. All right, so how do you want to start this? Do you want to talk about the more famous ones? Or
Let's start with the OGs. Okay. The OG droids. R2D2 and C3PO, right?
Classics.
They're legends. They are absolute legends. And in fact, I think we mentioned, or it's rumored, or it's a headcanon, or maybe a blend of all of those, that the entire Star Wars saga is told from R2D2's perspective because he's never had his memory drive wiped.
Right. Which is just crazy to me, but awesome at the same time.
He's seen everything. He's been in every movie. He's been in every TV show in some fashion. animated or otherwise, glimpses, references, etc. And he's the most irritable and loving, loyal companion one could ever want. He put up with the Skywalkers for how fucking long?
His two
Forever?
generations.
He started with Padme, and he's besties with Ahsoka. Everybody loves R2.
Yeah. So, I guess it's common knowledge, right, that R2 was a gift to Anakin from Padme.
Right, correct, yeah. And that's how he became vested in the Skywalker line.
Right.
He was gifted and forever invested.
Could no escape. Once he was there forever.
I mean, he was there at Leia's death.
Oh, that's so sad.
I know, that actually made me cry when I realized he was there with her. Like, although, honestly, I wouldn't have chosen any other droid to be with me.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So sad.
I know, but we love him. I love him. R2 is always going to be my favorite. Like my original can do no wrong type of droid.
Well, and he was designed that way, right? To look like a friend, so to speak. Like George Lucas wanted him to look like a little friend. And
yeah,
who wasn't it? Liam Neeson had this story about bringing his son to the set of Phantom Menace, and his little son like went up and just hugged R2D2 because he's like a little.
It's true that I was in a store at Disney, and they have people kind of in the shadows directing a real R2, like a life-size R2 rolling around, or he does the high-pitched shrill, and he'll bump into you. And no shit, he bumped into my calves, and I went, "Oh, I'm sorry," because I thought it was a person. And there he was, and he shrieked and went, "Wee!" And he like backed up.
That's awesome.
Because like the person can see the interactions happening, but you don't know where they're at or what they're doing or whatever, because they're remote controlling it. And the first thing I did was pat his dome.
Oh, that's so cute.
Like, you can't help it.
You can't not do that.
I know.
I got a picture with an R2 with my friend Jenny when we were at Celebration. And they have them at Comic-Con too. People are driving them around.
Yes.
They're
brilliant.
so amazing. They're like the real thing.
And on the flip side, C3PO, you can't have R2 without 3PO, right?
Oh my God, the original Odd Couple.
The original Odd Couple. In it together for life.
Yeah. Hating each other some days, loving each other the other days.
Yep. Saving each other's asses or trying to.
Yeah.
And it killed me in, I believe it was Rise of Skywalker, when 3PO said R2 was his best friend, the best friend he could ever have.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, the whole sequence too, when they were like making 3PO translate the Sith stuff, and they were like threatening to wipe his memory. I was like, I swear to God, you've killed Luke and Han and like if you also kill Chewie and the droids, I will freak out.
Yeah, can we just end with the killing of the original anything? Like, Jesus. But it brings up a question that I want to ask now, but have everyone, including ourselves, think about as we go along. Do droids feel?
What a question.
Like, do they have emotional bonds or attachments? And I think they do.
They seem to. At least some of them seem to.
I feel like they were programmed at one time to be just, non-sentient?
Yeah.
And then they somehow evolved, as all things kind of do. They wake up, and become somewhat, at least, conscious of their owner.
Yeah, I mean, think of Tala and Ned B.
Oh, Ned B. Yeah, we're going to talk about Ned B. He's on my list of must speak of.
Yeah, like they seemed to have like a weirdly emotional bond with each other.
I mean, you can program loyalty, right? But you can't program, I don't know, maybe it's a trick of the hand when it comes to filming, to make them.
I mean, you're asking, this question is literally the basis for so many pieces of classic sci-fi.
Yes, and that's why I'm asking it. I'm just going to throw it out there now as we go along and talk about these droids, because a lot of them are pals or sidekicks, or they're with their owners to the very bitter end, like you said, Ned B, who's one of the newer droids that we learned about from the Obi-Wan series, and made me cry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just something to ponder as we go along.
After the original, the OGs, where do you want to go from here?
Well, I mean, there's always the mouse droid, which is also in the originals, the MSE6, otherwise known as the mouse droid, which my best friend Derek has one.
That's the one that's like a little box, right?
Yes,
that, It's a little car that drives around. Yeah. Do you know who Nick Frost and Simon Pegg are?
No.
They're a famous comedic duo. They've done like Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead and the Cornetto trio. Okay. And they became friends because they were sitting at a table like a long, long time ago. And Nick Frost took like a salt shaker and like moved it across the table and just made a mouse droid sound. And Simon Pegg knew what it was, and they've been best friends ever since.
Oh my God, that sounds like something we would do.
I know, right? It's like such a Star Wars friends thing. It's like just that tiny thing. It's like no one else at the table knew what was going on, and those two were like, I know what you're doing.
I love it. I never knew that.
It's so great. Sorry to sidetrack us, but yeah. I just was like, Star Wars bringing people together, as always.
Well, I guess if we're talking mouse droid, we gotta talk the gonk. Gonker droids are just great.
They seem to do all the odd jobs around the galaxy.
Yeah, they're a power droid. So if they need a power bank, they were the original cell phone charger.
So that's why they fuel ships, right? Because are they recharging power? Is that what they're doing? Because I've seen them like recharge, like fuel up ships at like a fueling station.
Yeah, that's my understanding.
Interesting.
If you need energy or fuel, they got it. They can also be turned into weapons.
Yeah, I was going to say, he also seemed to be a time clock in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
I feel so bad for these things. I love them. I mean, clearly, if you look at the earliest renditions, it's some dude with a trash can and, like, rubber over his legs.
Yes.
Let's appreciate it for what it is, okay? But they kept it, and they kept this droid in so many things because of its ridiculousness. I have to believe.
Well, and also the sound, the gonk, as it walks, as a gonk. From that same era, a droid that I've always loved are the 2-1B surgical droids.
Oh, the surgical droids. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the look of them. They have the microphone face.
Okay. I was going to ask you, is it the one that works on Luke in Empire Strikes Back?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. They are creepy. They look like skulls.
I know, but I kind of like it. It's like they also have like different attachments on their hands, so they can be a claw, like a pincer.
Scalpel?
Yeah, and then they could be like needles and shit, which is just terrifying. But I kind of love it because they're like snout, for lack of a better term, is basically like an old 1940s microphone, which I just love.
Like the kind that they hold and...
Yes, exactly.
Like I'm doing the motion, but no one can see it. Yeah, those are cool microphones. So,
I guess the one that treated Luke was a defector from the Empire.
Oh, well, that would make sense. But we also see them in Clone Wars quite a bit.
We do. I guess that's kind of when they were invented during the Republic era, and then they were carried on forward from there. And I guess there was one. Palpatine used them to help heal Anakin after Mustafar.
Yes.
But one of the reasons I really like them is their voices, especially the one in Empire Strikes Back. It's just, I love that they talk. I don't know. There's something about them that they're kind of like humanoid. They're just fun to me.
They're like stale professors.
but also a little bit compassionate, but like you said, like a professor, very like standoffish, keeps you.
Yeah.
It's very professional but empathetic. It was.
True.
I find them very interesting.
They have better bedside manner than a lot of medical professionals that I've encountered. Shit.
It's true. Some of
Think
them
about
are.
that. Again, the question, do droids feel? Do they sense? I'm going to keep bringing this up because this is a much larger conversation, I feel like.
Yeah, it's like how much of it is programming?
Yeah.
And even if it's AI duplicating or replicating behavior that they see and, using an algorithm to then project that outwardly, is that really feeling? Is that just emoting, which is different than feeling? It's an interesting concept.
It really is. And you mentioned defector droids. Let's talk about a few of them. IG-11 from The Mandalorian, who was the babysitter droid. Remember him? He was the reprogrammed, like, assassin droid.
Yes.
Programmed into a babysitter.
Isn't Taika Waititi the voice of that?
Yes, he is, which I think is brilliant.
I love that.
It's random
He's
and
great.
perfect and everything.
I love that. Yeah, that was... Imagine having that thing as your babysitter.
Well, it's such an unbecoming exterior.
Yeah, that's like a tin can for a head and weapons everywhere else.
I don't know, but he made me cry too.
Aw.
Because he went down in the melted boat or whatever that was in season 1.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
That was all duty. He was programmed to do that and he did it. So the sense of honor is just like Ned B. And I don't know. I'm just trying to connect all of these. There's something about them,
There's something... Well, how sad is it that mechanicals have more honor than most humans?
It's very sad, and I'm not talking about it. It's sad. This is a happy episode.
Yeah. Okay, if we're going to talk about honor, one of my favorite droids ever is K2SO.
Another
Rogue
defector?
One.
Yeah, K2 is brilliant. Brilliant.
And played to perfection by Alan Tudyk. Like,
yes.
Holy crap. It's so funny. It's so beautifully timed.
His whole design is so bizarre. That droid, they are hunched. They're so tall that they are they have a hunchback almost.
Their arms come down, their fingertips come down to their knees.
And man, he backhands Cassian like a bitch. And
honestly, though, the weird shape lends to a lot of really good physical humor.
It does.
When he's holding Jyn Erso's bag and he just drops it on the ground and he's like,
And when he looks at her, with the cock of the head and those two little round eyes, there's sass in it, even though it's just, you're exactly right. The physicality of it lends to its humor.
When I think one of my favorite parts with him is when he asks Cassian if he wants to know the probability of Jyn using the blaster on him. And he's like, it's high. It's very high.
Would you like to know the probability of her using it against you? It's high.
Honestly, he has got so many good lines about how they'll be blasted into outer space and die. And he's like, well, not me. I'm a droid. I can survive in space.
He's wonderful. I loved him.
I really hope we're going to see him meet Cassian in the show.
Oh my God. I would, we need the return of K2. We do.
Yes. Because his honor, holding off the bad guys, sacrificing himself, that was very depressing for me.
It was
I felt
so
sad. Yeah.
It's not that the rest of Rogue One was a trip down, yellow brick road, but K2, I would love to see him again. Even if we don't, I feel like he has left his mark in the Star Wars world.
He's one of my top. I'm tied between
tops.
him and Chopper, because they're kind of similar, and Chopper is so good.
He's the best. Voiced by none other than Dave Filoni, even though he doesn't really say anything, he just grumbles. Which is
It's enough.
Yeah, it's enough. And we love him. Talk about duty there. Honor, loyalty to Hera. Was there when terrible things happened. I'm trying not to be spoilery.
Yeah.
Was there from the beginning. There was no job too big that he wouldn't do. He would be pissed and irritable about it, but he would still do it.
That's what I like about, like, the difference between him and R2. R2 was sassy and obviously would talk a little shit, I'm sure, while he was doing his job. But Chopper was very outwardly like, this is a terrible idea. You're a fucking moron. I'm going to plug in and do it anyway, but I'm going to bitch and bitch the whole time.
You expect me to do that? You expect me to do that? I could hear him say, like,
yes.
I don't know. It's just the way he says things.
And the way his tone kind of warbles a little bit.
Yes.
I think it shows that he's a little bit like, what's the term? Not unhinged, but like a little bit off his rocker.
You could say both of those things.
Maybe unhinged.
Yeah. I mean, he does have those little arms he's always waving around. Like, he's very, very emotional. Like, he emotes in the best
Italian.
way. He's as I'm sitting here talking with my hands, as a full-blooded Italian.
I was going to say our fellow Italian here.
Who grumbles and uses his hands to talk. I feel one with Chopper, our boy Chopper. I love him so much. Well, I have to talk about BB-8, because you want to talk about the most anxious of all the droids. That jittery little thing. He's very anxious, very unsure of himself.
Yeah. Well, especially after Han Solo just called him Ball.
I know.
I love that.
You. I love you, Han. Can we show some respect here?
I relate to Han so much.
Yeah. Yes. There's a piece of Han in all of us.
Yeah, right.
But I have to admit, I really, really like BB-8. I like him because he's like a pet. You know, and
he is.
And the way Poe treats him, hugs him, rubs his head, you know,
I know,
gives
he
him
rubs his belly even.
rubs his belly. Like, that's so cute.
Yeah,
but
they're very cute together.
He stays by Rey's side.
All the droids they're independent thinkers, but then if they're given a direct command, they seem to always follow through with that, which reminds me very much of like a loyal dog. Mm-hmm. You know, they're free thinking, sentient beings. I'm talking about dogs.
Sure. Yeah, right.
Droids
right.
aren't necessarily sentient, but
well, we don't know that yet. I'm still asking the question.
they might be. I guess we'll find out soon, according to some scandal in the Google world right now. But yeah, I don't know. There's something special about droids.
You cheer, you kind of light up. You get cheerful whenever you see them. Like we were talking about in real life. Mm-hmm. You take pictures with them. They're like fixtures in Star Wars. You can't think of Star Wars without droids, right? And I know we talked about.
Yeah.
We probably skimmed over 3PO and R2 a little too much, but everybody knows about them. We're trying to give love to every single droid that we love that may not get their day in the sun.
Do you have any, like, much lesser known droids that you love?
Well, I fell in love with one of the droids on the freaking Star Cruiser, the Halcyon, the Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel. And
oh, yeah.
She was an artificial intelligence female programmed droid called D309. And she was on our screen in the bedrooms, and you could turn your screen on and talk to her. And the more you talked to her, the more she got to know you, and the more she would open up, and she would give you clues about, you know, your missions and stuff. And she would ask you, so how was your day? You know, and she had this very, oh, hello there. How are you?
Hello and welcome aboard.
You know, it was very fluid and like not computerized at all. She read us a bedtime or told us a bedtime story at night.
That's adorable.
It was. And she made this big intro like she was going to talk about the savior of the galaxy, the bravest hero she's ever known, who led the galaxy to success and championed through the tyranny of the Empire. And we were like, oh, she's going to talk about Luke. And she said, R2D2, the most handsome of all droids. And she like went on to talk about the original trilogy in the perspective of R2D2's like point of view. And it was...
Oh, that's so clever.
It was really clever and really cute. And I really, really loved her. I really did. And so like, I don't know that a lot of people know her, but those who have stayed there, and of course my friends listening to this who stayed there with us, know all about her, D3.
So, unless there's anything else, I'll let you get started exploring the ship. Best journey.
How about you? Is there any really lesser known droid that you love?
Yes, there's two.
Okay.
There's one because they're funny, and one just because they're goofy.
Okay.
I love the Techno Service Droid, which is the droid that Cad Bane has. And he's voiced by Seth Green.
Wait, is he the square one? The square-headed one?
Yes, he's got a square
head. He's got
head.
like a shoebox for a head. Yeah, yes.
Yes.
Is Seth Green?
Uh-huh.
Oh my god. I didn't know he voiced that. Cad Bane really isn't very nice to that one.
He's not, but
he's
I think
wonderful.
It's funny because he keeps calling him a butler droid.
Oh.
And he keeps, the service droid keeps saying, I am a techno service droid.
Yeah. that was pretty good.
I am a techno service droid, not a butler droid.
Damn it, Dodo. You are what I say you are.
Gets so offended. But I also like the LEP service droid, which
the bunnies.
looks like a demonic bunny rabbit.
They do, and they kind of like, they like waddle.
Yes, and if they talk, they have that funny kind of robotic voice.
Yeah.
They really entertain me.
Yeah, they're cute and oddly shaped.
I'm a little bit afraid of them. I'd like be afraid to have one because I'd be afraid it would turn on me.
Oh.
At some point.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think they're very cute and spooky at the same time.
I have to talk about our girl, L337 from the Solo movie.
Oh yeah, because she's also the Millennium Falcon. And
She
she's
is.
fucking badass.
Which is amazing to think about. Think about this for a second. Her essence lives in that ship. Mm-hmm. The ship that everyone hates. And yet we all adore. She was fiercely independent and a kind of badass. Like, how many droids go in, like, waving their fist? Like, let's go, let's get them. Like, she was the feminist of her time. Like, you know, the suffragette of her time in the droid world. I loved her.
The droid suffragette.
So
Yeah.
she made enhancements to herself all the time, right? So she was constantly, I want to personify her for a second because I think she's a great role model. Because you can make constant upgrades to yourself and better yourself at any time, at any stage of your life, even if you're a mechanical droid.
Yes. And we don't mean that in like a physical sense necessarily.
No, I mean like bettering yourself to be a better version of yourself.
Yes. Yeah. It's never too late to work on your own well-being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was
There's
cool for
never
that. And
too late.
her and Lando, think about it. How cool would it be to be a duo with Lando? Or
oh my gosh,
Lando be a duo with her, L3. I mean,
they seemed a little bit in love with each other, didn't they?
They definitely, there was a fondness there. I don't know if it was reciprocated on both sides, or I think there was just a fondness.
He seemed pretty heartbroken when he thought she was destroyed.
Well, Poe was about to lose his mind because Rey injured BB-8 by the tree falling on him. Remember when the tree fell on him in Rise of Skywalker?
No.
She's like, what happened to the ship? And he said, what happened to the droid? And they were both arguing over what happened to their beloved mechanical things. You know, like just parents, overbearing parents.
Yes, helicopter parents.
Yes. But, like, I think there was a true partnership, camaraderie, trust, level of trust, similar to Han and Chewie, Lando and L3, you know?
Yeah.
If we're going the symbolic route.
There's 000. Did you ever see 000? It's from the comic books.
That's Dr. Aphra, correct?
Yes.
But I don't remember.
Evil.
She had a couple droids, right?
Yeah, she had 000, and what was the other one? BT1
Oh, that's
like
right.
that?
Yes.
Yeah, they're basically like the evil version of R2D2 and 3PO.
Depending on the day, you could say 3PO is the evil version of 3PO. Like,
yeah.
Depending.
These droids are always talking about, like, torturing people and draining everyone's blood.
Good
Like,
Lord.
They're really,
Good Lord.
They're dark. Yeah, they're very dark. There's the very special droid, right, from Jedi Fallen Order.
Yes. BD1. BD. And I haven't played the game yet because I was so afraid that something was going to happen to BD because he was so damn cute of the things I knew about him.
So cute.
But then I was reassured by our patron and dear friend Adam that nothing happens to him. So I'm free to play the game now. So
he reminds me, not that I've played the game, but from what I understand, because he kind of like float along with Cal, right?
yeah,
Cal Kestis.
he bunches into himself and attaches to him, and then his feet come out and he
then
runs along.
Attached to his back,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me of the little fairy that takes care of Link in the Legends of Zelda.
The little fairy?
Yeah, it's called Navi. It's a little fairy that pops and goes, "Hey!"
Oh!
Whenever, then like a little message will come out on the screen at the bottom. It's kind of like Navi helps Link whenever he comes up to something. Navi will pop out and be like, "Hey, don't you want to try this or that?" Or you can use it to ask questions.
I see. Well, like I said, I haven't played the game yet, but BD is an exploration droid.
It's so cute. Oh my god.
And a very emotionally expressive droid, from what I do know. And a very best bud.
Yeah.
But again, the sentient thing that I'm trying to figure out. Is it programming or is it just called love? You know, because BD kind of helps Kestis, from what I understand. He scans things, he researches things, he does all the, like, background work to help Kestis out. Of course, this is in a game, so that would make sense to me. My gamer brain is thinking, okay, that would help if you have a droid that helps help you on your journey in the game. But it's no different than if Anakin was on a mission and R2 came along and did the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. So droids are immeasurably helpful to everyone who has them. And BD just seems like the cutest version of that. And wasn't there a BD model in The Mandalorian or Boba Fett at the mechanics? You know, what's her name? Strangers with Candy. What's the actress's name? Who plays the mechanic who slept with a Jawa?
A Jawa?
A Jawa?
Yeah.
Was there not a BD version droid in her, like, a mechanic's office or whatever? I could swear, and it was cute, and it tapped its feet when it got excited.
I feel like you're right, but I'm not 100% sure. The actress is Amy Sedaris.
Sedaris, that's correct. Yeah, I was going to say Amy something, but I couldn't remember her last name. Shame on me, I know.
Well, I couldn't remember either.
She's a damn legend.
It's okay. She's fantastic, yeah. Peli? I don't know how to say her name.
I don't know how to say it. That's why I didn't say it.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Oh, she has the droids that are... God, I'll never remember what they're called. They're the kind that are in the Clone Wars. And
yes.
Actually, it's the kind from Phantom Menace where Anakin tells Jar Jar, you bop them in the nose, and that's what makes them close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they kind of roam dare I say, in packs, and then they help fix things.
I can't remember what that droid is called. It looks like it's wearing a little sun bonnet and has the big iris in the front. Gosh, I'll never remember it now. If someone can remember it, let me know, because it's going to drive me insane.
I'm going to look right now. They're right here. A DUM series? A dumb series? Is it literally called a dumb... They're literally a pit droid. A dumb series pit droid. DUM 4ND.
That's so sad.
They're not dumb. We'll just say pit droid.
Droid. That makes sense.
Because they're in like a pit
Because
crew.
they work on ships. Yeah, they're mechanics, kind of. Interesting.
Well, one more small droid, if I may, that I feel doesn't get enough love, but should, is little D.O. from The Rise of Skywalker. The little green and white one who told Rey, no thank you. No thank you.
Hello. No, thank you.
Because he's like abused or something.
Yes,
he was afraid, and that
terrible.
was very sad.
Yeah, and Rey, of course, with her everlasting kindness, took him along, and D.O. befriended BB-8, and they're like the new duo. In headcanon, they're the new duo going forward with Rey.
Yeah.
You know, but he's super helpful and small and can fit in places, and he's just polite. No, thank you.
The good manners was adorable, but also kind of sad
Very
at the same
heartbreaking.
time. It was a polite way to protect itself.
Yeah. So again, as we approach the end of this episode, have you all been thinking about my question? Because I have. I think droids can feel. I think they can sense, not just, from their programming, but I think when they find a good companion or master or whatever the term is, that they will form a bond that goes beyond programming.
Yeah, that's sweet.
And that's why I love droids. Okay, turning it over to you this week, the question's pretty obvious. Who is your favorite droid? We just gotta know, and why. Do you think they have feelings? Do they feel? I gotta know that question. But just keep it simple. Who's your favorite droid and why?
All right, next week we are going to dive into some more Obi-Wan stuff. We're going to discuss Obi-Teen.
Obi-Teen!
The ship between Obi-Wan and Satine Kryze. We're going to just kind of dive into it, talk about it, and get into some more of the details. So come on back here for some romance.
Yes, all you romantics out there. It's an Obi-Teen episode of your dreams.
Thank you so much for joining us here on the Most Things Kenobi podcast. If you would like to support us, you can now do so on Patreon. And as always, follow us on Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast player. If you enjoy the podcast, feel free to rate us on Spotify and Apple, please. And if you need just one place to find all of these, head over to mostthingskenobi.com.
So until next time, my space twin, may the Force be with you.
Always.